Good morning, guys. It's Ray's Landscaping, and man, it's wet and nasty today. Cover gonna be like that for today and tomorrow. So, and you can't do anything in the rain. And then, not to mention, I try to align myself with skid steer bobcat work, and I've been doing okay at that. But the damn machine keeps not breaking down, but I keep having little issues with it, like hydraulic leaks. I hear a lot of guys talking about, taking stick equipment to the dealer to have it fixed and stuff. I never run into that, y'all. Never. When when my stick equipment starts acting up, and I usually buy the steel, the FS90, the FS91, 4, whatever they are, they usually last me about 3 or 4 seasons on my truck, and I never have to take them to the dealer, not ever, for anything. During the course of the the course of me having them, usually they start whether they start not being as powerful and that kind of thing, and at the end of the day, if you're making money with these weed eaters and stuff, and if they last 3 seasons on my truck, man, that's a long time. I'm just saying. So blowers and stuff, I don't take no blower. I've never taken a backpack blower to get fixed at the shop either, but I buy all steel stuff. Now I know some people that might not like steel or whatever, but I've never had to take. Now I have had to take steel, some of my chainsaws to the shop, because the chainsaw, especially like the when the trigger one time I broke the trigger and the handle and all on my 201, one of my 201Ts, and I bought everything I needed from the dealer, and I took it home, but man, I just couldn't get it back together right. I ended up taking it back up to the dealer to fix it, and keep in mind that I do have things go wrong with this equipment, especially with like the blowers and stuff. Sometimes the trigger might get bumped into or things like that. But to be quite honest with you guys, ever since I got the racks, the trimmer racks and the blower racks, and we put everything in the racks, I don't have a whole lot of issues with the stick equipment as far as it breaking. Now, when they used to roll around in the back of the truck and the mower would, they'd move, with the mower on them, and the mower might roll and hit them and bend something. Now that's a much more common occurrence in my world than them actually mechanically failing. I don't never have them. I can't think of any weed eater that I've ever had that was a steel, FS90 or FS90R or what, 94R, whatever they are, actually actually stop running, and I couldn't get it running again, not ever. Now, keep in mind, I put top-notch gas in it. I don't just go put regular fuel in it, and I use the ultimate steel oil, the gray container oil and the orange container oil in all my equipment too. I just couldn't imagine, with the weed eaters costing, $350, to $400 each, that I'm going to spend a bunch of time, well, not a bunch of time, but a bunch of money at the dealer on maintenance stuff. Because by the time you do all that, you could have been on bought another weed eater, and so that's always my thinking on that with the stick equipment, and we use them. I just have never had any issues. And when I start having a little issues with it, like maybe the throttle, it's running a little higher than it should, or things like that, I usually adjust it, and just keep going. And then what happens is I get, one of them had a small fuel drip. Now I could have kept that weed eater going and everything, and stay, and kept running it, and it run fine. But what I normally do is I'll sell it for about 120, 150 bucks, and then throw that money with you know, 250 bucks or so, and buy another one, you know, because, you know, at the end of the day, the weed eaters are what they are. You know, they're not overly expensive, you know, for what you get when you buy one and what you can do with one, you know. It's a given, you gotta have weed eaters in this business. So now they ain't gotta be still weed eaters, but the reason I like Stihl so much, the number one reason why I like Stihl so much, is because they make a damn good product. That's the number one reason why I like Stihl. Number two reason is I got a dealer right up the road. You know, when my stick equipment don't crank, that's the first thing that I always check, is the fuel and how potent the fuel is, as far as, you know, ignitability and all that, you know, because sometimes, you know, water, moisture, condensation and all that can get into the tank and get into the tank as it's sitting on a trailer, you know, and then you know, and I always, well, before I had the Sure Cans, I would always shake the gas up real good before I use it, because that'll shake up if there is debris or water or anything in the fuel. Then well, it's diluted with good gas, you know, before I put it in the stick equipment. But overall, I've never had issues with stick equipment. Never, man, never. Maybe I'm just lucky, dude, you know. But as long as I'm putting ethanol-free gas in it, I don't ever have any issues, man. So I know a lot of people do, and there's a lot of other equipment that I like too. Now, I've never been a great big Echo fan, and the reason why I've never been a great big Echo fan is because back when I first started my business, Echo wouldn't give me any credit. You know, I think I filled out a credit form to get some stick equipment, some commercial stick equipment from an Echo dealer, and Echo USA would not approve my credit. You know, I think I was, you know, trying to get, you know, $1,500 or $2,000, not more than $2,000. It wasn't a lot of money, but of course I didn't have any money. You know, I wasn't established at all, you know, and I was just trying to get in the game, you know, and they wouldn't give me credit. Then at the same dealer, I turned right around and filled out a Stihl form, and they gave me $3,500 in credit. And so I never forgot that, you know. Not that Stihl really has anything to do, Stihl has anything to do with their actual credit loaning money, you know, for equipment. I don't know how intertwined Stihl is with a finance company that they or whatever. I paid that $3,500 off, and I never had to get credit from them again. I don't even have a credit account with them anymore, because once I got to the point of where I could pay for shit, then I bailed out all the credit. You know, I don't like running my business on credit. You know, that's just me. You know, because something could happen where I couldn't make a payment, and then they're gonna have somebody come and taking my equipment or ruining my credit over, you know, $1,000 or $2. You know, but Stihl created loyalty, and not that they meant to do that, but they, you know, they had the same information that Echo had as far as my credit history, my debt to income ratio, and all that. You know, and I had a full-time job. I left the dealer that day with Stihl equipment because Stihl approved me. So I'm going to always be loyal to people that help me when I'm down and out. Now, of course, I could fill out a form at Echo now, and they'd give me credit all day long, probably give me $10,000 worth of credit or whatever, you know. But that ain't how I want to do business. I don't want to do business with folks that that only do business with me when I'm up. I want you know, manufacturers and companies to do business with me when I'm down and out too, and I remember them, you know, when I am up. So, you know, I feel the same way about labor and help too. You know, the reason why I'm kind of loyal to like Budweiser Bo and shit is because, you know, he's been with me when I didn't have anything, when I wasn't even established, when we were, you know, using home light weed eaters, and I didn't know what a good chainsaw was, and I didn't know what a, you know, good commercial mower really was, because, you know, I just didn't know, you know. And so we've done a lot of manual things together as far as labor goes on these jobs that we don't have to do anymore, because I got equipment that can do all that stuff. You know, though Bo didn't evolve with me in the business from a mental standpoint, you know, I feel some sort of loyalty to Bo because he has been around since since the very, very, very beginning, on and off, you know. Because 28 horsepower is enough is enough power to run a lawn business, you know. I know that they make, you know, these mowers at, you know, 36, 37 horsepower, you know, but that's really, you don't really have to have all that power, especially on the stand-on mowers, because the stand-on mowers, well, you know, I want to say they're lighter, you know, but I don't know, I've never owned one. I want to say that it doesn't take as much power to run it as it does a Z-turn, but it might, because you're still carrying the operator, you know. The zero turns are just bigger. I think they weigh more. I might be wrong, you know, so don't hold me to that, because these mowers ain't like going out and spending $2,000, you know. They're up there, you know. So they're really expensive, and it hurts every time I buy one. Until I'm out on the job and it's 90 freaking degrees, 95 degrees, humidity's at sky high, and I got an acre or two to cut, and I get on the machine and it cranks up every time, and it cuts at, you know, 8 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour. Now they say you can cut grass at 12 miles an hour. I don't know about that, you know. I guess, you know, given the right power, you might be able to, but, you know, nobody that I know of cuts grass at 12 miles an hour. You know, they might go over the ground and stuff like that, but, you know, you're not going to hardly get a great cut at 12 miles an hour. Let's just be real. That's in my experience. I don't know. So the top speed of a mower is really is not that important to me, because I know you can't cut it at the top. You can't cut quality at that top speed. You know, so if the mower will go, you know, if it's 12 miles an hour top speed, and I think that's what my X-Mark X series mowers are, and they run the big Parker pumps. I don't know. I know they run the big pumps. That 12 miles an hour is only good when I'm trying to get somewhere on the job, or trying to, you know, go back and make my line, you know, to push the grass a certain way, or just that kind of thing. 12 miles an hour is not hardly practical cutting grass in my experience, but I've never been able to cut a good quality cut at 12 miles an hour cutting grass, you know. So there's that, man. You know, I'm just saying that, you know, the manufacturers like to talk about how fast their mowers are, and that's all fine, and, you know, and everything, but once you start getting, you know, above, you know, 10 miles an hour or above, man, you know, it's gonna have to be some really short grass that, you know, that's spotty and things like that, to be able to get a quality cut. It's hard to lay the nice stripes down at 12 miles an hour, in my experience, you know. Of course, I've only what else have I had? I've never had a stand-on mower, so, you know, I can't really comment or say anything good or bad about a stand-on mower, but I know that if you got a 37 horsepower on a stand-on mower, man, that's a lot of power for, you know, for the weight of that machine, you know. Yeah, I'm sure that they cut great, you know. My thing is, I just don't want to stand up, man, you know. And if I'm going to spend you know, the better part of $10,000, $11,000, you know, all the way up to, you know, $13,000, $14,000 on a lawnmower, it ain't gonna be a stand-on. Now, if I could get one for $6, that's 52 or so, probably can't even get a 60-inch stand-on mower for $6,000. I don't know, you might be able to, I don't know, with the kind of horsepower that you know that I want. I just I never had one, you know. Well, the yards I do usually are, you know, acre or 2 or 10, you know, 5. You know, I stay away from the cookie cutter neighborhoods, you know, where a 36-inch stander would be ideal. You know, on the very few limited cookie cutter yards that I have, I just use the commercial 30, Exmark commercial 30 to do. But I don't market myself toward that arena, you know. I market myself to the bigger cuts, you know, the acres or more. Because you make more money and you do less work. Why in the world do I want to sign up to do 10 postage stamp yards, other than the fact that they're close to each other, you know, for, you know, $50 a pop, when I can go to one job that's 5 acres and make $300, and, you know, I don't have all the variables that you have in these neighborhoods. Some of these neighborhoods that are around here, man, they're so freaking small, and there's no place to park. You know, the neighbor comes out if you blow the grass the wrong way, and, you know, especially up in these really nice neighborhoods where they got, you know, they ain't even got 1/8 of an acre, and they crying about $50. But yeah, I stay away from them yards. I got a couple, but they pay top dollar. You know, they're giving me $70 and $80 a pop, and they're giving me all the work in their yard, and they don't never cry about the money. If my customer starts crying about the money, y'all, I'm probably not going to be doing that property for long. You know, they can get somebody else to come in there and do it, and that's fine. I used to really fret over losing customers and stuff like that, but I don't fret about it no more, because I know what my value is. And of course, you know, my value is not in the ability to cut grass. Yeah, anybody can do that. My value is in knowledge of the grass, and the ability to keep things rolling, as far as showing up every time like I'm supposed to, not having equipment issues, or if I do, they're minimal, and they don't really stop workflow, they don't stop production, and my customers know they can call me, they can text me, and I'm there. You know, I'm not some little teeny bopper out here trying to cut grass and make a few dollars every day. You know, I'm organized to a certain degree. I probably could be a lot more organized, and I'm learning. But my customer likes is the fact that they don't have to worry about their yard. You know, they don't have to worry about it. Yeah, they might be paying, you know, $10 more than what they would pay somebody else or whatever. But at the end of the day, they don't have to worry about it. And that I've found over the years, y'all, and I might be wrong, but I've found that most of my customers at this point, in 12 years, they're not just paying for me physically cutting the lawn. Yeah, they're paying for that, but they're not paying for that as much as I think that I think they're more paying for not have to worry about their lawn or anything in their lawn. That's what the customer's paying for, you know. Because if you get a guy out there cheap, and he shows up when he wants to, is he can't keep his equipment running, and blah, 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 well, most people just get frustrated with that stupid crap, and they'd rather go on and throw $10 more at somebody like me and have me coming out there loyal and dedicated, you know. And even though somebody that's charging $20 or $25 on a $60 lawn, you know, they might be as dedicated as they can be based on the equipment that they have and everything. But 9 times out of 10, they're not going to, not everybody, but 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be able to last like that, you know, with subpar equipment and doing the yards cheap. Because if you do it on really cheap, you'll find that you're not going to be able to compete with somebody like me, because you're not making enough money for repairs and to be able to buy top equipment, and that's going to affect your bottom line. You know, people say, well, damn, Ray, you know, $10,000, $11,000, $13,000 for a lawnmower. Hell yeah, that's a lot of money, man. And yeah, I cringe every time I think about those numbers, and especially when I have to go buy one. But the long-term business side of me knows that that's what's required at some point in your business. You know, I can't go out and buy John Deere tractor mowers and be as good as I am with commercial Z-turn mowers. You know, can't be as fast. And then what happens then is, if I got subpar equipment and I can only make, you know, $200 a day because my equipment just is not fast enough and efficient enough, then I'm going to probably lose interest after a while, and I'm not going to chase it like I would if I can make $800 a day. You know, because that $500 or $600 difference per day, it don't take long to pay off a mower. You know, and you got a quality mower, and you got a, you know, I don't know about Skag and Wright and all the other mowers out there, but I know that Exmart has a top notch warranty, man. Top notch. I mean, you know, their warranty is just, I don't know if there's any other warranty out there as good. There may be, I don't know. But I know that any time that I've been under warranty and my Exmart goes down for whatever reason, they never go down, but you know, I've had one that's had a couple of engine issues, and that wasn't Exmart, that was Kohler. But every time they made sure that I got a brand new engine put on that mower at no cost to me, other than the downtime. You know, if I could cry about anything on the Exmart mowers and stuff, or the warranty, then that's what I would cry about. The fact that, you know, they hold my mower for a month because, you know, they're waiting on parts or whatever. So top quality mowers, it ain't mandatory to get started or nothing. Use what you got. But for you to make top dollar, you're gonna eventually have to spend good money on a good mower. And you don't have to have, you know, $13,000 lawnmowers, but you need $8,000 lawnmowers, you know, in order to sustain and not have a whole lot of headache. And I know there's guys out there that make money with you know, with $2,500 lawnmowers. I used to buy the $2,500 used mowers all the time, and you know, and use them, the walk behinds and all that, and make plenty of money with them. But whenever I saw that I could make, you know, more money with a better mower, then that's what I did. You know, I don't know, my finances, I was just able to bank my money some and be able to pull the trigger on a big boy mower. So I'll probably go through this season. You never know, though, some things can happen, you never know. You know, one phone call can change your life in this game, you know. So my plan, my intention with this season, going into the season right now in, you know, February, is I'm good on mowers this season. Now, you know, and that's not to say I won't buy a mower, but my thinking going in is that's one expense, and it's not mandatory to deal with this season. Now, if I see the business picking up and I see us getting some bigger cuts or more big cuts or whatever, then, you know, I may look for a mower and buy one. But I'm not going into the season thinking I need a mower. I am going into the season thinking, okay, I need to replace a couple of weed eaters. You know, I may buy, you know, I got 2 BR 700 blowers, nothing wrong with them, they run fine. And you really don't need a big boy blower where I'm at, especially not for the summer, because, you know, well, you know, the BR700 is plenty powerful enough. But I may buy one of the 800s just to kind of keep the, you know, keep the equipment kind of up to date without breaking the bank, you know. But at the end of the day, if I replace 2 weed eaters and a blower, you know, that's $1,000 give or take. You know, maybe $1,1100 or $1,200. That's not a lot of money, man. When you think about what you get, and then I'll incorporate those into, you know, into my daily use, and then the ones that I'm not using as much of, I'll hang on the wall, and at the end of the season, I'll sell it. You know, or you know, I'll keep it, and because if I can't sell it, I don't give them away. I keep them. You know. And I'll use them for parts. It's always good to have trigger parts and things like that with the weed eaters, and chainsaws and stuff, you know. Anyway, y'all, I'm rambling, and I'm gonna have to do a little bit of editing on this, but it's a rainy, ugly day. I'm over here fixing to pick up some stuff, and this is Ray, and yeah, this is Ray, y'all, and I'll catch back with you.